What's going on, guys? This is Chris with Journals Comics. Doing a video today for Rez's contest that I just found out about, and super excited. There's a lot of good contests going on right now that a lot of people are doing that got me so excited. I'm just coming out here right away. I'm like, I need to do this. I need to do this right away. So I got a list here because it was a good substantial amount of stuff. But some really creative stuff, so definitely excited. So guys, I guess just to go into it, first off, obviously, 18 and up, sub to her channel, and the first thing that she wanted you to do on top of that was follow her on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I don't really use Twitter, but Rez, I just friend requested you on Facebook and sent you a request to follow on Instagram as well. So alright guys, so I'm gonna just dive into this, into all these questions that she has here. So the first one that she is wanting to know is your favorite comic genres. I mean, cliche. Superheroes is my favorite genre. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this because, like I said, cliche. I mean, that's the first thing the majority of people think of when they think of comic books. And I guess it's just because a lot of us, that's how we get into it, being young, and the mythology behind a realm with superhuman beings, is it's the reason why it is popular as it is today and has been. So, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that. It is what it is. I love superhero movies. It's about almost the only thing I'll go to the movies and see these days because it's so expensive. Everything else I'll wait till Netflix or whatever, on DVD, Blu-ray. So, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was big for me, and I guess that's a superhero genre, but growing up, and actually I read a lot of Disney, like the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and things like that, Goofy. So a lot of that brought me into it originally when I was a kid. So, but just until recently, I haven't been wanting to do much more outside of that until recently, where I am being, pulled into wanting to read outside of the box of just the superhero genre. So we'll see where that takes me. All right. So the next question is 3 favorite artists. So I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite artists doing one of my favorite characters, which is Spider-Man. Now, I could have gone off and said John Romita, but because this guy was more of my time growing up and reading, I'm going to pick him hands down, although I feel he is a sentiment of John Romita Sr. But it is Sal Buscema, and here is a spectacular Spider-Man issue that he did. And the reason why I enjoy his art is because it's very classic. Like I said, if I had to compare him to someone, it would be John Romita, but I don't even want to really compare him because he was unique in himself. He did the spectacular run from like the early 100s until like 220 something, which it was, I don't know, maybe like a 13-year period, and you saw his art evolve through the run. And I loved, on top of the writing, of course, but I loved watching his art on these pages as I was reading this. And as you can see here, real classic Spidey, with the wide webs, the bigger, the small yet wide eyes, very, very classic. Yeah. That would be number 1 there. Well, not really number 1 in any order, but all right. Now, again, growing up, this artist meant so much to me. None other than Todd McFarlane. Here's my Spawn number 1, and I just feel that this guy revolutionized comic art, and I'm gonna explain why. Not just in his art, but I'm gonna explain why in a minute. But again, growing up is when he was, you know, popular, and he was a big reason why I really dove into comics as much as I did. So I'm gonna show you guys something here. This is just a random Spider-Man issue that he did. Now, the reason why I say he revolutionized, obviously, he took Spider-Man and created Spider-Man in such his own uniqueness, his own way that was so unique that just pulled you in. He was responsible for the modern web, that thick web instead of just like a line, you know. So give him credit for that. But one thing that I really loved about Todd McFarlane, outside of just his simple the artwork itself, his paneling revolutionized comic books, I feel, as well. Now, from what I experienced reading comics, this type of paneling got popular around the mid 80s. Certain artists did it, but I think Todd McFarlane made it really popular. And I'm going to show, I mean, just, let's see, where's it good? Something like this, where you just see these slim panels on top of each other, and they're so animated within each of them. And it, you know, the different shapes, it wasn't just this cookie cutter, you know, square, 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 square. He brought the pages to life in his unique way of paneling. I mean, look at this, like right here. The way that it's set up, you have this blank box in the middle with all this action going on. You got the text box like sticking out of the boxes. Show you guys a couple more panels here. I mean, just like this. See these panels up here, how it barely changes, yet the you know, from one frame to the next, it's just pulling you in. Definitely, guys. So just like this here, there's the panels. It's got the doom, 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 doom kind of outside, you know, the storytelling with the art, with the paneling. Tom McFarlane, man, that's my guy. I don't care what anybody says. All right, and then my third, lastly, I'm gonna have to go with Jim Lee. Again, me growing up, he was a big influence on myself, and being an artist, I used to copy his work all the time, as well as Todd's. He brought characters to life in his detail, and as you can see in this picture, just this cover here, I mean, the emotion, the shadow within Magneto's eyes. You can't even see his eyes, but just the detail and the way that the shadow is hitting his face, you feel that emotion of what Magneto is feeling right here, you know. I love it. I love his stuff. So I love the stuff he did on Superman. I love the new stuff that he's doing. So Jim Lee, and if you guys just watch one of my recent haul videos, I picked up a X-Men #1 signed by him. Super freaking excited to have that. So yeah, guys, those are my three artists. Yeah, I until recently, I never paid an extreme amount of attention to the particular artists when I was young, but that's why these guys, the ones that I picked, really stuck out to me, because I wasn't even really paying attention to who the artist was. It was their art and their style that just, you know, piqued my interest so much that I had to remember their names. I had to know who they were. So, all right, next question. 3 favorite writers. This is something, again, growing up, I never paid attention to writers, like, at all, until, you know, more in my adult years, probably within the last decade, maybe even less than that. But, so, let me go down to the books that I picked out. All right, I got the Ultimate Spider-Man trade here. Brian Michael Bendis. I started reading this, right? And at first, because I'm such a big Spider-Man fan, when I was reading the Ultimate, I'm like, you know, it's not the, you know, same universe. It's not Spidey. It's so different. I'm like, well, I don't know if I like this. After a few issues, I was hooked. I read this whole run in maybe like 1 year. And keep in mind, that's quick for me because I'm reading other things and I'm a full-time student. I've been a full-time student recently. When I was reading this, I was a full-time student and I got 2 kids. so the responsibilities are piled high, and I got through this like crazy. I mean, I would bring the books wherever I went. I was entertained and pulled in the whole time. So Brian Michael Bendis, definitely. Second, the man, Jeff Johns. Obviously, we know that he's doing big things with DC now, and, you know, it's due. He definitely deserves it. Justice League. I haven't finished. I'm a little behind on the New 52 Justice League run. But what he did with this, I feel, is kind of like, if I had to relate it to something, I would say it's like what Marvel Studios and the writers for the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done with their movies. He brought such life and character to this run and to each of the individual characters. I mean, their camaraderie, the way they interact with each other, the humor. I love when I am reading and I can pick up that humor and like laugh, or even the emotion too, you know, whatever kind of emotion it is. And I think he does a really, really good job of bringing that out within his stories. So Jeff Johns, I look forward to reading more of his stuff, because I'm not too sure if I have read anything else of his besides the Justice League New 52. And then lastly, and I just got a book here to show off one of his things. Classic Amazing Spider-Man 129. Obviously, this is the reprint. Jerry Conway. Jerry Conway, man, I mean, icon. And again, I know a lot of the stuff I'm showing off of Spider-Man, but that can just show you guys how much Spider-Man means to me. I mean, Gwen Stacy, the death of Gwen Stacy, the original, you know, Clone and Jackal saga before the 90s stuff when it got out of control. The early Mary Jane story runs. I mean, this guy, the Green Goblin, classic writer, to where in a time when things seemed so simple, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but when storytelling, artwork, everything within comic books seems so simple, he made it work. He made it work in such a way where, again, just that emotion. I mean, the death of Gwen Stacy, when Peter Parker sat there on his knees, you know, like trying to get Gwen to come back to life. I mean, you know, again, this is bringing emotion out. We're not, you know, when we watch a movie, we see it in real time. We buy into the emotion of the characters. You got the music behind it, and they know what pulls that energy out of the viewers, of the audience. It's so much harder to do it in just writing, I think. And when you do it in books, that's when you know you have something amazing. And Jerry Conway, definitely iconic in my opinion. So those are my writers. Now, what are my 3 holy grail books that I could not live without if I can only take 3 with me wherever I went in life, into space, on a deserted island? Like Red said, which 3? So I struggle with this because I don't know if it was 3 that I don't have, because if I wanted to pick ones that I don't have, obviously it wouldn't be the ones that I'm going to show. But I'm going to show the ones that I do have. Okay. First up, yes, more Spidey. And I'm showing all 3 variants. Spider-Man #1, Todd McFarlane. Gold, silver, and standard cover. Again, just what this series meant to me, what his art meant to me, what Spider-Man means to me. Yes. I would never part. Boom. Alright, second, I'm going to show my Captain America 101. Now, I would pick Captain America 100, but I don't have it. I hope to have it one day soon. But this is the earliest one I have, 101, so of course right now, this would be my choice. I love Cap. He's one of my favorites too, right behind Spidey. And my Cap run is pretty awesome, and I'm still building on it. All right, lastly, this probably is the most sentimental to me. And that is the Random House. I had to look, I forget who published it. The Random House collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures, the original 4-part miniseries that came out in, I want to say, 1987. I got this, when I was about 4 years old. If my memory serves me justly, I was at a grocery store, maybe I believe Alpha Beta. For those who remember Alpha Beta grocery stores, and I remember being in the cart, sitting in the cart with my mom doing some grocery shopping, and I saw this on the book rack, and this just started my love for both Ninja Turtles and comic books. I do believe this is the first one I've ever owned. I don't have any recollection of anything coming before it. So if you were to take it out of the bag, it's so beat up. This is the original one that I had, and I've kept it, and it means so much to me. And this is my number one. I don't care if I had $1,000 book. If I had to pick one, it would be this one, just because what it means. When I take this out of the plastic and I smell it, that smell just brings back. It's like a time machine. Really, when I look at the pages, when I see the art, when I see the story, and I smell the book, and I'm using all my senses, it brings me back to sitting there as like a 4, 5, 6-year-old reading this book, copying the pages, doing art out of it. So this is my number one right here, guys. I don't even know if it's worth anything, but special to me. Okay, moving along. How did you find Rez? Okay, I'm going to be honest. I think I subscribed to Rez maybe 4 days ago. So it hasn't been that long. Who was I watching? I'm sorry, as my short-term memory right now, I've just had so much on my plate that I've been easily forgetting things. But I was watching somebody's video, and I saw a comment that Rez posted on that video, and I thought it was a really interesting comment, and it piqued my attention. So I clicked on her, I checked it, I watched just one of her short videos, because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was trying to get to sleep. And immediately, I really enjoyed her personality and her energy. I've only watched a couple more videos, obviously the contest one being one of them, so I haven't really gotten to gauge, who she is as a YouTuber. I can tell, though, I'm seeing the titles and all of her videos and stuff, I can tell she is very unique, which I think is really good within this community. She has a wide variety of things that she reads and shows off and talks about. But the thing that just pulled me in was her energy. And sorry, guys, not to put this out there for you guys to take it the wrong way, but she brings that female energy that I think sometimes is lacked. Sorry, it sounded like something fell in the other room, so I got distracted. But she brings that female energy to the community, and I think that's definitely that's a positive thing, because it can be so male driven a lot. It's good to see the genders diversifying within this community. So I am very geez, now I lost my train of thought, but I'm very excited to check out some more of her videos soon. So, all right, moving on to the next question. What comics are you trying or wanting to get into? So I just brought this up. This is a good question, because I just brought up about wanting to get into some independence. Actually, I'm going to show off just something that I picked up here. I want to get into independence. I want to get away from the superhero, not because I don't like it. I always will. But I want to expand. So I'm just picking up stuff that looks interesting. But I found this Vertigo run, The Twilight Children. It's a little mini series, and it looked really interesting. So I want to start reading that. Oh, there's Fate. I got that too. Shoot, I got some more. I should have pulled them out. But I just got the reprints of #1 of Walking Dead, Outcast, Saga. So I got a lot of good stuff that I can, start getting into outside of superhero. You know, I forgot to add too when talking about comic genres. Um, I I should have brought up sci-fi because although sci-fi science fiction exists within the superhero realm, you know, it's kind of its own as well. And I love Star Trek, Star Wars. I have a really good collection of Star Wars books, and I also am subscribed to the current Marvel series. And I've been trying to build up my Star Trek books as well. So got some Doctor Who books too that I have not read. Planet of the Apes. My uncle, who is an old head in collecting comic books, just loaned me some Planet of the Apes stuff. So I want to start reading some of that stuff too. So that kind of ties into this question too about, you know, where I want to branch out to. All right, guys. All right. What are my additional hobbies? So I got some goodies to show off. I have a lot of different hobbies. You know, obviously reading comic books. I am an artist. I am a musician. I do play instruments and I produce. And I love baseball, collecting baseball cards. I love being outside in nature. I love camping. Tons of stuff. So I wanted to show off a little art. I might have shown some of these off in one video before. But let's see here. Most of this stuff is from high school and it's not finished. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is a woman sitting on some rocks by a waterfall. Yeah, there's that. What else do I got in here? This I did of a friend that had passed away. He was murdered, unfortunately. Really sad, 19-year-old. He was an extremely talented skateboarder, and he got selected to perform and participate in the first ever X Games. And just like a month before he was going to go off to do them, they murdered him. Messed up. Michael Bradley, rest in peace, right there. I did that in high school as well. Here's another good one that I never finished. Yeah, I was kind of a lazy ass in high school. Some dude sitting up against some bricks, contemplating. See if you can get the glare off of that there. And there's a Hummer sitting next to a waterfall on that other side. I wanted to show off my Rihanna. I really enjoy the Rihanna portrait that I did. But I don't think that's in here. But that's okay. Sarah McLachlan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her music. I like a lot of her old stuff. And lastly, I'm going to show off. I almost finished this. I did this in like sophomore year of high school. My man, Tupac. She didn't finish up that other arm and the tattoos. So yeah, guys, that's some of my artwork. I'm dropping it all over the place here. I'll pick it up as soon as I'm done with the video. Okay, that's my artwork. Now, I am a musician. And if this will play, here we go. I don't know if you guys can hear this. I've kind of kept my music on a hush from my comic YouTube channel. But this is a song I did about a year and a half ago. Like I said, I don't know how good you guys can hear it. This is my friend who's actually singing right here. And this is me coming up right here. Especially listen to this for a few seconds, guys. Alright, I'll stop it right there. So, that's just a little snippet, guys. Yeah, I was actually signed to a label in 2009. I quit my day job and started doing the music full time and started touring with artists that I grew up idolizing and listening to, and started making music and recording music with folks that I grew up listening to. And for about 2 years, that's what I did until life kind of got in the way. Not going to go into all that, but I had to shut it down, and I had to basically pack up and move my family out of where we were living in Richmond, California. It was rough, and but I don't regret it. I'm where I am now, and that's fine. And I have my little 15 minutes of shine, so to say. But I still enjoy making music, although being in school right now, I don't really have the time to do it at all. So yeah, but if you guys want to inquire more about my music, you want to hear more, definitely hit me up. Like send me a email or private message or something. So all right, guys, there's one last question here, and this is a bonus question. Name 3 books that I want so badly, but I do not have. All right. I said it earlier, Captain America number 100. That, yeah, I mean, I don't know what more can I say. The first solo Captain America, that's the one for me, one of the ones. The other one would be Amazing Spider-Man number 122, Death of Gwen Stacy. I have it in the essential books, in the essential trades, the collections, the black and white collections. I would love to have that book. That's definitely one of my top 3s. Man, and I'm going to have to say my 3rd is going to be a tie. I want to say Amazing Spider-Man 300 just because of what it means. It's so popular. And it means a lot to myself as well. But I'm going to make that be a tie with Star Wars number 1 from the original Marvel series from 1977. Yeah, so those are my 3/4. Kind of cheated there. Books that I would love to add to my collection one day. And right now I'm not too big. You know, I'm not sweating getting these key books. You know, I'm pinching pennies, utilizing the dollars that I can spend on bargains. I mean, if you guys watch my hauls, I'm spending 25, 50, 75 cents on my books each. So, you know, and I'm filling holes in my collection. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, and I'm good with that. So, all right, guys, man, this was a long video, but I hope it was worth it. I mean, Rez, she had us work for it. So, you know, I hope you guys don't mind the length. I hope you enjoyed everything that I went over and showed you guys. I really appreciate you watching. Rez, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you having this contest. I look forward to you know, watching more of your videos. Definitely, I might, while I'm uploading, go watch some more while I'm uploading this video, because this video is probably going to take about 4 hours to upload. So all right, guys, check out Rez. I'm sending a link, or leaving a link to her at the bottom of this video. Definitely check her out. She is awesome. Let's keep on expanding this community. So all right, guys, thanks again. Until next time.